Kirkwood Community College, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, pulled off a convincing 25-9, 25-12, 25-16 win over East Central College on Saturday afternoon in the NJCAA D2 North Central B Division Championship in Johnson Hall in Cedar Rapids. The Falcons finished the year at 13-7. The first women's soccer match in East Central College history was played on Saturday afternoon at Metropolitan Community College in Kansas City. The Falcon women played well but lost the match 1-0. The men's game with Metropolitan was canceled, so they picked up a game in Latha, Kansas against Mid-American Nazarene and won 4-1. Next action for the Falcons will be on Wednesday. They'll go to St. Charles Community College for matches at 2 and 4 p.m. The Central Falcon softball team will host Mineral Area College today for a doubleheader at 2 o'clock. At the Central Methodist University Invite Track Meet on Friday and Saturday, some local athlete results. Alex Fritz from Bourbon and Columbia College finished third in the 200 meters. Austin Tegler from New Haven and Columbia College was 13th in the 800 meters and 19th in the 1500. The 4x400 meter relay team from Columbia College, with Alex Fritz running on that team, finished second. Jacob Fritz of Bourbon and Central Methodist finished third in the high jump. In the javelin, Alex Fritz was fourth and Jacob Fritz was seventh. On the women's side at that meet, Bailey Rasmussen from Owensville, who's on the Truman State team, finished 13th in the shot put, 9th in the discus, and 16th in the hammer throw. At the East Central Champions Shootout in Union on Saturday, St. Charles beat Hillsboro 8-0. It was Lafayette over Holt 6-1. Orchard Farm down Ladue 4-0. Zumwalt West and Summit played to a 0-0 tie. Oakville beat Troy 6-1. Parkway West over Timberland 4-0. Pacific got by Farmington 1-0, and it was Union over Holt 4-2. Katie Candrell from Owensville recently signed a letter of intent to run track and pole vault at Missouri Southern State University. She'll join former Dutchman and her brother Brian Candrell in Joplin with the Lions. And Dutch girl senior Michaela Gibson signed a national letter of intent to continue her cross-country and track career at William Woods University next year. In local coaching news, Brett Joseph has stepped down as head boys basketball coach at Cuba. Ryan Bobbitt will also be leaving Cuba as the head girls basketball coach and activities director. Seth Collins has announced he is resigning as head girls basketball coach at Steelville to take a job at Osceola to be closer to family. And Bill Thalen, the girls coach at Pacific, is retiring at the end of this year. Good luck to all those gentlemen in their next endeavors. Looking at the local schedule for today, high school baseball, Herman at Owensville, New Haven at St. James, St. Clair at Pacific are all 4:30 starts. Vienna at Cuba, JV and varsity at 5, and then Washington at Union for a freshman game at 4:30 today. Our next baseball broadcast will be on Tuesday. Union will be at Sullivan. In girls soccer, Pacific is in the Windsor tournament today. They'll take on Fox at 6 o'clock. Also today, Fatima is at St. Clair for varsity only at 5 this afternoon. In high school golf, Bell and Steelville at the Dixon Quad meet today at 4 o'clock. And in middle school track, Bourbon and Cuba among the teams participating in the Salem Open, which starts at 4 o'clock today. Sports on the air, we have Cardinals baseball at 4:45 as they take on the Marlins on 102.1 KTUI FM. And then we have Blues hockey, 60 a.m. pregame at 6:30. They'll drop the puck at 7:10. Blues take on the Golden Knights. That's your look at sports on this Monday. This is Bobby D.
What do you do when water doesn't flow? Low pressure, clicking sounds from the pressure tank, pump runs constantly? You contact Schrepfer Well Drilling, your water pro. Their knowledgeable staff is ready to handle whatever water issue you're experiencing. Schrepfer Well Drilling also handles a full line of water treatment equipment. Hard water, red water, sulfur, it can all be treated. Family owned and operated since 1953. They can repair your pump system and improve your water quality. Your family owned water company, Schrepfer Well Drilling.
In 1895, the founders of Sullivan Bank had a vision of a bank built on strength and integrity. Throughout the years, we've weathered wars, depression, and change. Sullivan Bank's vision for growth and prosperity has been a lasting one. We are proud to continue to assist our communities through this difficult and changing time. Our team continues to work every day so that businesses and families have access to the financial help you need. The generations before us became stronger, and we're passionate on making sure the communities thrive. Sullivan Bank, we will all make it through this together.
All right, it is coming up on 27 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. It's 60 degrees outside, and Bob is with me this morning. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
We're running a little bit early today because we had no funeral announcements, which is a good thing.
Yep.
I guess unless you make your living off of...
and they've had a pretty hard time through all this.
Yeah.
It's one of the... I mean, they were able to still operate, but
Oh, sure.
it was people were opting for cremations and
Well, and one-day services and things like that.
short one-day things, and
And some people, nothing at all. Just. China, Hong Kong opt out of showing the Academy Awards show live for fear that a Chinese-born director up for an Oscar might disparage the communist regime.
Huh. Yeah, he won't last long after that. All their operatives over here will take care of him. Toot sweet.
Colorado is the latest state to consider banning Native American mascots in schools.
Seems to be a trend.
One of 7 states considering similar legislation, that according to the New York Post. And the Washington Examiner says Illinois Democrats want easier sentencing on gun crimes, but these are the same Democrats that want to make it more difficult for law-abiding citizens to obtain guns. So they'll go easier on the criminals that have guns, but they make it more difficult for law-abiding citizens.
Yeah. I wonder. Another one of those things I wonder when it started. I'd like to go back and see when the Democratic Party lost all their common sense.
Well, yeah.
I just,
Well, see, the thing is there are what do they call them? Blue dog Democrats or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that people that. But those, they don't get the headlines.
Well, they just don't have the influence that they had at one point.
No. Well, the thing is I talked to a Democratic lawmaker who was a bit more centrist, and he had some legislation that he was wanting to get in front of the House, and he said there are actually a lot more people like me than there are the people who are extreme left-leaning, like AOC and things like that. He said, but they don't. The news, doesn't want to hear from us. They want the people to, because whether you like them or not, you will watch the news.
They're more sensational.
Yes, the sensationalism of it.
Yeah.
And he said, but because of that, I can't even get my legislation in front, of the House. So.
And that is truly a shame.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that is.
Even as more and more people across the United States and abroad get vaccinated for COVID-19, some communities remain highly vulnerable for infection and hospitalization, according to the Atlantic's Alexis Madrigal. In the U.S., vaccination efforts have been swift but lopsided. Wealthier and more educated communities have been receiving vaccination at a faster clip, leaving the rest behind. So I have no way of knowing, except that where I got my shot. There were 4 ladies. They happened to be black. They were talking, out to where I could hear them. They were from the city, and they had come to Cuba to get their shots, and they were glad that they didn't have to travel that far. Well, Cuba's a good hour and some few minutes.
Well, we had that story about the guy that went up from
St.
South
Joseph or something like that.
One guy went up to Canton from southeast Missouri, and
I realize this is different across the United States, but this says wealthier and more educated communities have been receiving vaccinations at a faster clip, leaving the rest behind. In several cases, communities with large minority populations have not been vaccinated as much. Such unequal vaccination progress suggests that the virus's 4th wave could be relatively benign to some areas and devastating to others. Conservative men, or what are they? Trump. I don't know. They blame it on Trump.
There are so many names for the different factions now.
But they say that the half of conservative men don't want to get the shot. Trump followers or whatever. Although Trump has had the shot.
Yeah.
And he has a spout. He's the reason that we have it in, so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody forgets that.
Yeah, I don't really understand that. But,
everybody forgets that he's the one that got the Operation Warp Speed going.
Yeah.
That accelerated the development of the vaccine and made arrangements for the initial purchase of several million doses that Biden was able to take advantage of after the inauguration.
Well, anyway, and I'm perfectly okay with people that don't want to get the vaccine. It doesn't bother me a bit. I don't care.
I've always thought it should be a personal choice.
Yeah. And so anyway, Warner Brothers.
Movie studio. Yeah.
Godzilla vs. Kong shattered expectations.
Yeah, I saw that.
At the weekend box office and revived cinema owners' hopes by earning $48.5 million in North America, $285.4 million worldwide. One analyst says the big budget tentpole's debut is a clear and positive indication that movie-going has inherent strengths that aren't going away. Its opening is even more impressive considering the movie is streaming simultaneously on HBO Max. Still, rising coronavirus cases in the U.S. and lockdowns in other parts of the world are keeping studios and exhibitors anxious as summer box office season approaches. Did you tell me that contact tracing was coming back? Or I thought you said that something... Or was that because of that guy?
That was because the guy that was from Alabama that went to the NCAA tournament. They were doing contact tracing
on him,
with him and the people that were in the student group. I think that was there. They're also and they're still doing it. We've had a couple of high-profile instances in Major League Sports with the Washington Nationals baseball team. They had to do some contact tracing with those guys. And the more serious development was the Vancouver Canucks hockey team that had over half of the team and most of the coaches had come down with COVID, and several of the players had been pretty ill from it. So they
came out of their bubble.
Well, I guess and that's really been. I mean, there have been a few isolated, especially early in the season. There were a few isolated cases. I know, like the Vegas Golden Knights had a few guys, and there have been a couple others. Like Boston had more recently had a few guys that were infected, and they had to do some rescheduling of games. But for the most part, not being in a bubble, so to speak, I think they've done pretty well. I think
so. These guys are athletes, and they're for the most part fairly young.
You would think, yeah.
Are they having a lot of trouble with it? Or
well, I really think this case with Vancouver, and I haven't seen the latest on it. There was some speculation that at least one of the cases may be one of these mutant strains of COVID. I don't think there's been any proof of that yet. They were doing some additional testing. But yeah, that's really, I think their situation has been one of the very few that were guys have been infected have seriously ill. Most of them, they've had a few symptoms. They've had the fatigue, they've had the fever, they've had the loss of smell and taste, for a time. And I think, some of them had the kind of that extended, like the fog they talk about in some of the cases. There have been some instances of that. But I think for the most part, most of these guys have gotten through it, have been either asymptomatic or gotten through it with very minor symptoms, with the exception of a few cases.
Mm-hmm. Well, even though 3 out of 4 mayors surveyed say that they expect residents to spend more time outside compared to before COVID-19, just 6% say they plan to make changes such as wider sidewalks, more bike lanes, and closed streets permanent post-pandemic. And just over 1/3 of the 130 mayors that Boston University surveyed across 38 states say they plan to continue allocating space for outdoor dining. Encouragingly, the research shows mayors understand the role open spaces play in building community and the need to invest more equitably in them, but they say budget shortfalls will be an issue post-pandemic. budget
Yeah.
shortfalls are an issue all the time.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there are some cities that are actually seeing a bit of a windfall from some of these coronavirus. The bills, the stuff that they
Sure.
that they've passed. But a lot of cities are just are still struggling and will be for quite some time.
I read something over the weekend, I guess, that for Franklin County, the presiding commissioner, Tim Brinker, if this infrastructure thing goes through, that the president is planning, he's, I guess, wanting 4 lanes for, what is it, 47, I guess?
Well, I mean, there's been talk of making Highway 50 4 lanes all across the state as well. That's one. And then there's the 47 project that they've been talking about moving it to where you don't go through Union. And
Well, they've been trying to do Highway 50 because let's see, from now I think from before Jefferson City.
Yeah, it's from east of Lynn now. They did a section there.
They've got it all the way to it's not Tipton, it's California.
Yeah, it's through California.
I think
it's
on the other side of California,
now.
and they have been talking about going through or bypassing Tipton, and California. I don't know. Having, but you had to go through California, and a lot of times you would stop, get a drink or something like that.
It was a boost for those
now
towns.
now they have an overpass, and they've got a great big. They've decorated it and got welcome to California and all that stuff, trying to get people to get off of that. But on the other hand, the sections, we used to drive it all the time. Getting to my mother-in-law's house. My mother-in-law now lives in Sullivan, so it's not quite as much trouble. But but it took a good, probably a good 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes off that travel through that area from Jefferson City to.
Oh yeah.
And
it would take a lot if you go around Tipton.
And then so now I guess once you get past California, it goes back to 2 lanes. Until you get to Sedalia, and then it's pretty much 4 lanes all the way to. It is 4 lanes all the way to
Sedalia,
Kansas City.
all the way to Kansas City.
Yeah.
But even with 4 lanes, it takes a while to get through Sedalia.
Yes.
Because you're driving through a predominantly residential neighborhood up until you get to 65, and so your speed limits are.
And I had heard
30
that
and 35 through there.
There were people that were talking about making some kind of a bypass around Sedalia, but I don't know that Sedalia would ever stand for that.
No, I don't think anybody up there would be for that. That's, but yeah, I would be interested to see how the being bypassed has affected California, because I mean you're what, a couple of, or at least a mile south of town now is where they put that through, if I remember right. Is it
probably.
Is it less than a mile?
I think it's less than a mile, but it's I don't know. Doesn't matter. Whether it's a mile or a tenth of a mile, convincing people to slow down and get off of there,
The one thing it will do, though, is open up that area between the highway and the city currently for development.
And that's true. And there have been a couple of people who have taken, but the problem is a lot of that is farmland, and
and they're not going to,
the farmers convincing them to, of course, you offer enough money for it.
Well, that's just it.
Farmer goes, well, I could plant that 40 acres on the other side of the road or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I could find some other land somewhere else to buy for what I'm getting for this, but yeah. Well, and they've talked about the same thing with Highway 63. That's again a very long range plan. They want to make 63 4-lane all the way through the state. I really think with 63 a better option there would be to do the passing lanes pretty much through the state. I think that would be a cheaper and probably just about as effective. I think that passing lane area, I know that from Rolla down south really helped going down through there, and I think it would be huge to go from Rolla to Highway 50 and go.
Well, there are some
there are
passing.
A couple.
Yeah.
Right there around
the big
Westphalia.
hills. Yeah.
The big hill coming down, going north, going into Westphalia, and then they've kind of done some work at the 133 intersection, top of the hill going out. And then there's the one coming up.
Well, around the Vichy.
The one hill,
Yeah.
the long hill there, and then coming up, going south out of the Gasconade Bottoms. That one there, I've always kind of pushed, and I've mentioned this to a couple of people with the Merrimack Regional Planning Commission who are on the Transportation Advisory Committee, that passing lane there, kind of what they call the truck lane going up that hill, that needs to be extended farther down the hill, because the truck lane, the passing lane, starts about halfway up the hill, and it's not very long, so you don't really have many vehicles get an opportunity to pass a slow moving semi, because he's got to get to the top of the hill, he's got to move back over. I think they ought to extend that down the hill a little bit and give a better opportunity for more people to get around a slower moving truck through there. But what do I know?
Procrastination. The word
Guilty.
comes with a lot of baggage. For many, it probably triggers thoughts of avoidance and or overwhelm. But what if we flipped the script and started thinking of procrastination in a positive way? Well, BBC Work Life argues we should. If we focus on something else besides the task at hand, like a walk or a cleaning break, we may experience creative insights we might not have had before. This period of incubation can help broaden our perspective. In addition, a recent study by organizational psychologist Adam Grant suggests distraction can be good, in moderation, of course. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, "You know what I've been thinking about?" And they said, "Yes, I do." And I just looked at him and I said, "You have a sick mind."
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Well, I guess this is a kind of a new spin or some new developments on an old story. Personal information of about 500 million Facebook users, including their phone numbers, have been posted to a website used by hackers, according to cybersecurity experts. There are records for more than 32 million accounts in the U.S., 11 million in the United Kingdom, 6 million in India. And this is from the cyber intelligence firm Hudson Rock.
Okay.
Never heard of them. Yeah. Details in some cases include full name, location, birthday, email addresses, phone number, and relationship status.
Yeah.
Hudson Rock showed CNN Business the phone numbers of 2 of their senior staff members, which were included in the database. The leak was first reported by the news website Insider. This is old data that was previously reported on in 2019. We found and fixed this issue in Facebook.
All right, time out. This is old data,
Yes.
found in 2019, which is a year,
Not that long
year and a half
ago, yeah.
I mean, but when you think,
Yeah.
well, this was old data from 1965.
Yeah, well,
No.
It's fairly recent. But they said they fixed the issue in Facebook and did not say if it notified affected users at the time. And this somebody here from one of these sites, it doesn't say which one. They said in 2019 we removed people's ability to directly find others using their phone number across both Facebook and Instagram, a function that could be exploited using sophisticated software code to imitate Facebook and provide a phone number to find which users it belong to. Although this data is from 2019, it could still be of value to hackers and cyber criminals like those who engage in identity theft. Hudson Rock's Alon Gall pointed out on Twitter that the way the data was sorted and posted on the hacking site this week makes it far more accessible for criminals to exploit. So you may want to check that.
Yeah, that's why I always use your phone number when I sign up
there
for
you
something.
go. Okay. No wonder I keep getting those calls from
That's
India.
right. Yeah.
Mike got them from China. I get them from now.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't, knock on Formica or laminate or whatever this is. I have not
I
received
think
one
this
of
little
those.
strip on the end might be wood if you knock on that.
I have not received one of those calls in quite some time. And I consider myself very lucky because there for a while, I'm like Mike. I was getting them 3 or 4 times a day.
Good luck getting home today.
Yeah, well.
Well, they'll get your
they're
thing.
probably listening to us, on
Probably.
YouTube and yeah.
So let's see. I had something here that was really, really fascinating. And, oh, yeah, here it is.
Okay.
When do women feel comfortable around a man?
Ooh.
This says...
Don't know if I want to answer that one.
This is the definitive. It takes 7.5 months for a woman to feel completely comfortable around a man. And by comfortable, we mean comfortable enough to burp or to go to bathroom in the same room. And I'm like, nah.
Okay, where are we getting this information? What's the source here?
I don't know. It doesn't actually say, but
probably for good reason.
Probably. Yeah. My wife and I have been together for 35 years or something like that. Nah.
Didn't take 7.5 months?
Well, so far it's taken 35 somewhere. I don't know.
Still has it there.
So this says, have you gotten your latest stimulus check? Have you been checking your bank account? This guy had his deposited directly to his Netflix account.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the tweet of the week: do dogs understand elevators, or are they just like, okay, time to get into the world changer? I don't know.
Some people tweet about some of the most asinine things.
I don't know. I have, I got more things to worry about than what the dog's thinking. And I don't have a dog.
How dogs react to an elevator. Okay.
Yeah.
I got a story from a sheriff's office in Arizona.
Okay.
Uvalde County.
Never heard of it.
Yavapai.
Okay.
They released body cam video of the moments deputies discovered $1 million worth of fentanyl pills in a child's car seat during a traffic stop.
Wow.
This happened on Sunday, March 28th. Deputies noticed a car making an unsafe lane change and conducted a traffic stop along I-17 in northern Arizona. Deputies say 27-year-old Roberto Guerrero was the driver of the car. 24-year-old Ana Razo Villela was the passenger. Their 3 children, all under the age of 6, were also in the car. During the traffic stop, a canine alerted deputies to the possible presence of drugs in the car. Body cam video shows a deputy searching the trunk of the car after obtaining permission to search and coming across a child seat. You can hear one deputy say about the child seat, "This is way too heavy," which led them, of course, to take a closer look. Deputies say they found a hidden compartment in the seat, and inside that compartment they discovered 52,000 fentanyl pills.
Wow.
I wish I could say I was shocked that parents with 3 young and innocent children would use a car seat to conceal such dangerous drugs, the sheriff said, but this is a sad reality of our world today. People try to get creative when hiding their criminal activity, but they need to know that they can't hide anything from us. I'm grateful for the work our K-9 deputy did on this stop. His thoroughness not only saved the lives of those who suffer from drug addiction, but his actions helped rescue 3 very young children from a dangerous environment. Both suspects have been charged with transportation of dangerous drugs and child endangerment. The 3 children are now in DCS custody.
So I listened to some, I guess, lawmakers who had gone down to the border wall and the detention facility and stuff, and they said that people in Mexico will take children as, whatever, toddlers, and drop them over the fences and the wall and stuff like that.
They had some video of a 3 and a 5-year-old.
Yeah, and they were, of course, they were told not to take video. They were told not to take pictures.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, this wasn't one of those. This was somebody else that did this.
Well, I mean, this was legislators that went to the border.
Yeah.
And they were told, don't take video. Don't. Of course, they did.
Yeah.
And they released it.
Yeah.
And so it's some pretty bad stuff going on.
It's a whole lot worse than what people in the administration are trying to make it out to be.
Well, and there's apparently drug trafficking has spiked.
Oh yeah,
way up. I don't even know what.
Well, and it's this is contributing to child trafficking. And None of them ring screen for COVID, and it just.
And I was talking to the sheriff, and I said, why do we not hear about meth making anymore? And he said, well, it's just cheaper and safer to buy what's coming up out of Mexico, and so I don't know. He said people that still make meth around here use it, in the whatever the soda bottle, the
2-liter bottle,
2-liter bottle
the
method
trunk of the car,
It's because it's safer, doesn't blow up as much.
You can go out in the middle of nowhere and do it there, and it's we talked about last half hour we were on about the Major League Baseball and the the ticket of the moving the All-Star game and all that, and the voting laws, and I had a conversation the other day with what was it, three different people, and one of them would probably be considered a centrist Democrat, and we were just kind of discussing the situation, and in all honesty, he didn't agree with it either, and he said, I've taken the time to read the bill. He said, there are some parts of it I can see where some people would be concerned. He said, but for the most part, he said, I didn't have a problem with it. And we were talking about the whole, the photo ID thing and how it's perceived as being racist because people of color don't have the ability to get photo IDs. Is one of the that's one of the arguments that's being made.
Sure.
And as we kind of were talking about it, one of the things that we discussed and kind of pooled our comments and thoughts and ideas, we were like, why don't, instead of sending all this money in these relief bills, what are supposed to be COVID relief bills, overseas to various and sundry countries for things that so it's basically a waste of our money. Why don't we take that and make mobile ID labs, like a box van truck,
just make
with its own generator.
Just make picture IDs free.
That's it. The government, we use that money to pay for that. They have them in all of the major metropolitan areas and in any states and areas where people of color, but you just put, it has their own built-in generator. You have a computer, you have a camera, you have a laminator, you have the equipment necessary. They have maybe extra equipment. They can set up a little canopy thing, and you take it to the neighborhoods where these people live, so they don't have to travel long distances, and it doesn't cost them a penny. And you just say, hey, excuse me, we'll get the word out. We're going to be here. We're going to make you a free ID. And we're coming to you. We're not going to make you come to us. We're coming to you. You come up, we get your information, we take your picture, we put it on a laminate card. It's good for the rest of your life.
15 or 20 years ago, I had to have photo IDs for my children to play football and baseball and stuff like that.
I mean, you look at the list, and there's been plenty of these put out on Facebook and in various other media sources. The list of things that a photo ID, not just an ID, but a photo ID, are required for you to do in just common everyday things in your life is long.
And what is the percentage of people who don't have photo IDs? I don't know. I can't even remember how much it cost to get photo IDs for my kids. I want to say it was somewhere between $11 and $14 or something.
It's not overly expensive for the majority of people, but like I'm saying, use a lot of this money that they're throwing away in other countries in these stimulus bills, and come up with these little, you can put it in a van, you can put it in a box truck or whatever, and you can, like I say, you have the equipment in there, you have a couple of cameras, a couple of computers,
make an app on your phone.
Because most of them have free government phones.
No. I mean, you, instead of putting together this van, you can probably put an app on a phone, and they can go and take your picture and print your ID out.
However it works out best.
You don't need anything but a scooter.
But I mean, go to them, because that's the big thing. Oh, where we don't have the wherewithal to get here.
I just don't believe that.
just go to these neighborhoods and say, hey, we're here, free ID. It's good for life. It's not a driver's license, but it's just a photo ID, and you get that out there. And it's going to take a little while. It's not something that's going to happen over a course of a few days. I mean, it'll take a while to put it together. It'll take a while to get it done. But at the end, excuse me, at the end of that, you've got the majority of people, and it's something that you keep doing. You keep some of these on hand, and every so often you have these every few months. You have these, they go out and they make a spin around to get anybody new that doesn't have one, and you take care of that problem, and then everybody has their photo ID, to vote. And then it's not an issue. It's not a color issue. Or it's not an economic issue. Everybody will have them, and there you go. You show them to vote, you go in and vote.
Well, today is Monday, April 5th. Michael Moriarty played Ben Stone on Law and Order, is 80 years old today.
A lot of famous actors and actresses born
So
today.
Here, Max Gale, I always liked him.
I loved him on Barney Miller.
Wojciechowicz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walter Houston, the actor from Treasure of the Sierra Madre, born 1883. Spencer Tracy.
Oh, wow.
In 1900. Melvin Douglas in 1901 was in Ghost Story and Being There. Betty Davis. Jezebel, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, born 1908. Gregory Peck, 1916. With the list of movies he was in is just, To Kill a Mockingbird, probably one of his more famous. Author Arthur Haley, born 1920,
Roots.
wrote Airport.
Oh,
that was his brother.
Alex Haley.
Alex Haley did.
Arthur Haley.
Yeah, he wrote Airport, The Final Diagnosis. Gail Storm, the singer and actress, was in My Little Margie, born 1922. Actor Nigel Hawthorne was in Richard III and Demolition, born 1929. Singer, record producer Cowboy Jack Clement, born 1931. He actually discovered Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh.
He was a producer for Sam Phillips. Phillips was in Florida doing, following down some other talent, and he recorded a whole lot of shaking going on. Clement did. He also wrote Ballad of a Teenage Queen and Guess Things Happen That Way for Johnny Cash. Wrote several songs for other country singers. Frank Gorshin.
Oh, the Joker.
The Joker from Batman, born in 1933. Colin Powell is 84 today, and Sterling K. Brown from St. Louis on This Is Us is 45.
Mitch Pileggi, he played Director Skinner on the X-Files. He's 69 today.
Haley Atwell, 39.
Marvel's Agent Carter. Yeah. All right, we are AM 1560 KTUI Sullivan 94.1 FM. We're coming up on 9 o'clock here, and let's see, 62 degrees. We've got Chris Gaskell. She'll be my guest at 9:10 this morning. Stay tuned here to KTUI.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Crews are working to prevent a real catastrophic flood situation and are evacuating people out of harm's way due to a leak at a wastewater pond in the Tampa, Florida area. So far, 316 homes have been evacuated, and state authorities have closed portions of U.S. Highway 41. Manatee County officials are warning of a collapse at the Piney Point industrial site was imminent for the 77-acre wastewater pond. The old phosphorus plant, in operation from 1960 to 2001, holds large pools of polluted water. India's Ministry of Health confirmed over 103,000 new COVID-19 infections on Monday. It's the first time India has reported over 100,000 new coronavirus cases in one day. Egypt held a 5-mile procession of 22 ancient mummies in Cairo as they were moved from a museum where they had been for over a century to a new National Museum of Egyptian Civilization Saturday night. USA Radio News.
Awesome and amazing day, friends. Hey, we are headed towards St. Patrick's Day, Luck of the Irish. And I want to give a great shout out to one of the greatest coaches of all time, Lou Holtz, who gave me his permission to use his name and his likeness when I used to be in the banking world. But you don't need luck this year to get healthy. You don't need luck to lose your fat. You don't need luck to get off all those medications. No, all you need is to use those hands and log on to EnergizeHealth.com or call us at 888-444-8895. Friends, you've heard Wayne talk about his amazing transformation, and you know Wayne is a crusader of truth and only speaks the truth. He would not be endorsing this protocol if it hadn't changed his life. You need to log on just to see that. So log on today to energizehealth.com or call us at 888-444-8895.
The Derek Chauvin murder trial will continue Monday in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As the border crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border worsens, video came out Friday showing human smugglers in the middle of the night dropping toddlers from atop a border wall into the United States and then running back into Mexico. Jeremy Scott from the Oregon USA Radio News Bureau has a border update.
During the visit, senators saw unaccompanied children, some with positive COVID cases, in cramped conditions inside makeshift tent-like structures.
We were told to delete the pictures. No one did. You've seen the video coming out of all of these kids crammed together under the foil blankets, huddling together. And when you have 10% of them who are positive already.
Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming, a member of the Republican Senate leadership on Fox News, would not say who told him to delete the pictures. Senator Ted Cruz posted video from a border facility in Donna, Texas, saying that a Biden administration staffer told him not to film.
Thanks for listening. It's well appreciated. We are USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
The U.S.-Mexico border is experiencing a major humanitarian crisis. 2 weeks ago, President Biden put Vice President Kamala Harris on task for a solution. So far, Harris has been silent. Journalist Joe Concha tells Fox News she's acting as if it's not her job.
She's not making any visit to the border anytime soon, apparently. There's nothing on the schedule. Jen Psaki always has to circle back in terms of when that may happen. Or if it's diplomatic, I don't hear about any trips to Guatemala or Nicaragua or Mexico. So the words of the Biden administration, yes, we're going to fix this problem. I'm tapping the vice president in order to fix it. But yet, in terms of deeds, nothing seems to be done. And I would think that if you want to solve this problem, you have to go to the border and see these facilities at 17 times the capacity during a pandemic, or maybe talk to Border Patrol officials or the people running these facilities where you have one that is supposed to only hold 250 people. It has 4,000 in it right now, 19,000 minors overall just last month.
More than half of this National Hockey League team is down with COVID-19. Dan Naraki reports.
The NHL's Vancouver Canucks are dealing with one of the worst COVID outbreaks in pro sports. ESPN reporting that more than half of the team's players have tested positive for the virus, with 16 players on the Canucks COVID-19 protocol list as of Sunday. At least 3 coaches have reportedly tested positive as well. The league had postponed a week's worth of Vancouver's games, with the team returning to play this coming Thursday, but that date is expected to be pushed back, with the NHL hoping that the team will be able to resume play this season. The Canucks have 15 games remaining on their schedule, with 4 more that have been postponed.
For USA Radio News, I'm Lance Pry.
All right, and it is 5 minutes past 9 o'clock for Sale Show coming up here. And increasing cloudiness for the KTUI listing area today, high near 78. Mostly clear tonight, low around 57. Sunny tomorrow, high near 78 again. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night. There is a 30% chance of some overnight showers and thunderstorms. Low around 62. It'll be, well, it looks like there's an 80% chance of showers and possibly a thunderstorm on Wednesday, high near 70. Mostly cloudy on Wednesday night, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Low around 49, and then partly sunny on Thursday. Slight chance of showers. High near 60 degrees, and let's see, 62 degrees right now at the studios of KTUI. All right, if you have something to buy, sell, or trade, you can give me a call right now, 468-5101, 468-5101. You can text me at 573-677-1001. That's 573-677-1001. And you can also send me an email, and that is forsale@ktui.com. Forsale@ktui.com. 6 past 9 o'clock. The things that I have in my list of items this morning, got a Winchester Model 370, and it was built in 1970. They're looking to sell or trade it. They're trying to build a collection. They also have a fiddle, a dobro, And round bales of hay for $20. 573-764-4435. That is 573-764-4435. They're also looking for a cardio glide. Somebody has a Chris Craft boat they're wanting to sell. They've also got some boat parts and stuff. 636-458-3662. 636-458-3662. And got some round bales of hay, 5x5 round bales. $15 a piece. 314-630-9463. 314-630-9463 or 457-5389. That's a local number, 457-5389. We've got some clothesline poles. They're the square tubes. They want $40 for the pair. 636-208-0754. 636-208-0754. I think we got somebody waiting for us on the phone line here. Make sure everything's set up. And good morning. You're on the For Sale Show.
Good morning. I have for sale starter vegetable plants, beefsteak tomatoes, sugar baby watermelons, crisp and sweet watermelons, red peppers, green peppers, strawberries, elephant ears, 2 different types of cucumbers, carrots, cabbage, and much, much more. My phone number is 573-205-9401, and I'll even come and help people put in gardens if they're needing assistance.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. All right. 573-205-9401. She's got all those starter plants there. 573-205-9401 is her number. Had a woman that had a sleeper sofa, a lift chair, a recliner, a microwave, some other things. 468-8446. 468-8446. Had a 1967 Cub Lowboy Snowblade with a snowblade on it. A Cub Lowboy with a snowblade. 573-205-2946. They were wanting $2,000. Or best offer, 573-205-2946. And let's see, what else do I have here? Floral 90-inch sofa in perfect condition, $125, and a burgundy 60-inch faux leather reclining rocking love seat for $75. This furniture's been in a house with no children, no pets, no smoking. Delivery to your door for an extra fee can be arranged, and you can call 468 8756. 468-8756 is the number to call. I don't know why that phone was ringing, but we're going to turn it off. All right, 468-8756 is the number. And then the guy with the canned goods, his number is 573-327-9068. 573-327-9068. And we've got an upright base for sale. 573-205-3735. This guy he's got 2 of them now. He needs to get rid of one of them. 573-205-3735. And let's see. Well, I had sent a Zoom invitation to Chris Gaskell, and it says she is joining, but somehow that's not going through. So I don't know what we need to do here. It is 11 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock, and that's going to do it for the For Sale Show, I guess, for today. I'm going to let you listen to this from the folks at Jerry's TV Sales and Service.
Jerry's TV in Sullivan is a family-owned appliance, furniture, mattress, and electronics store. Jerry's has over 20,000 square feet of showroom with name brands of fine quality home furnishings at low prices. Jerry's TV's been serving the Sullivan and surrounding area since 1962. Jerry's has in-store financing, fast, free delivery, free setup, and free removal. When you shop at Jerry's, you get discount store prices with service in every department. Shop local. Shop Jerry's TV, 375 West Springfield and Sullivan, because service matters.
Well, I don't know what's going on here with my Zoom meeting. It doesn't seem to be connecting with Chris. we're going to talk to her about the weekend clinic at the hospital there, but it says joining, but she's not. I don't know. There's not many controls on Zoom. Nothing I can do here. So let's see. We'll see what happens here. Maybe they'll call or something. I'll tell you about some things that I have going on in my community bulletin board. And one thing I want to tell you about, Frex Market, they're having their first annual charity golf tournament, and that's coming up Friday, May 21st. And the proceeds benefit organizations in our community helping the food insecure. And the registration will be at 11:30 a.m., and then there's a light lunch. There's a 1 p.m. shotgun start, steak dinner, and awards following play. And you can find out more about this at freixmarketgiving.com. That's freixmarketgiving.com. And let's see. Getting a message from Chris here. It's $95 per player, and a threesome is $285. You can contact Darren Newbanks at 573-368-7545, or you can email Darren at Darren, that's DARREN, .Newbanks, NEWBANKS, Darren.Newbanks at gmail.com. And what else did I have for you here? Some of this stuff. I think the Easter eggs hunts are probably over. You think? Good Friday service is over. The Lesters is over. I may not have anything to tell you about. Here we go. The SHS Encore Music Boosters Cornhole Tournament fundraiser is coming up Saturday, April 10th. Doors open at 11. Games begin at noon. They've got cash prizes, silent auction, raffles, cash bar, food for purchase. Sullivan Fraternal Order of Eagles Hall at 1000 Acid Mine Road in Sullivan. And there is, it's $50 per team in advance, $60 per team at the door. And you can register via email to kcounts78@gmail.com. I'm sure that's Kyle Counts. Let's see. So kcounts78@gmail.com, or you can call 636-667-7664. 636-667-7664. And let's see. It says please make checks to Encore Music Boosters and mail to P.O. Box 144, Sullivan, Missouri 63080. The number of teams is limited. Please register in advance to secure your spot. Entry fees are non-refundable. And I don't know which Chris Gaskell. Now I got two.
An all-star game.
Here we go. Oh, I messed that up. And okay. Let's see. There's a chili dinner and a square dance at Evergreen Baptist Church, and that is coming up Friday, April 16th. Dinner at 6:30. Square dance from 7 to 9. It says come join in the fun. It's an outside event, so dress accordingly. And now I got 3 Chris Gaskells, I think. I don't know which. Oh, I think we may have her. Let's see if I can get her on the air here now. Are you there, Chris? She's showing up, but not being able to hear her. All right, 16 past 9 o'clock. Bingo resumes. Bingo is at the Knights of Columbus Hall in Cuba. I-44 in the UU exit, 885-4225. That's 573-885-4225. And you can find out more at KFC.org. And I don't know, Chris. I don't know why I'm not being able to hear you. Maybe you can just call me at 468-5101. Maybe we'll do things that way. All right. She's not able to hear me or not. I'm going to send her a text message and see if we can get her on the phone line here. All right, I sent her a message there. Now, all right, Open Horse Show is going to be May the 1st at noon at the Saddle Club grounds, and let's see, that's the first event of the year is May the 1st. And I think that's all that I've got in my list of items. You know, if you'd like to get something in the Community Bulletin Board, you can just send it to us here. Mail it to Community Bulletin Board, care of KTUI Radio, P.O. Box 99, Sullivan, Missouri 63080. Or you can email it to us at news@ktui.com, or you can text it to us 573-677-1001. And I think, are you there, Chris?
I am. Good morning.
All right. I don't know what's going on with Zoom this morning. It usually works, so.
Oh, no, I apologize. It's difficulties.
Who knows who's. All right. Anyway, Chris, you wanted to talk, or maybe Missouri Baptist wanted you to talk about the weekend clinic. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Sam, we just wanted to let everybody know that we are open. I think it's been difficult due to the pandemic on, whether we're open, what we'll see, what we won't see. The only difference for the weekend clinic, so it's open from Saturday from 10 to 4 and Sunday 10 to 4, and we see all minor illnesses such as colds and flus, and this time of year we're getting into poison ivy. We also see urinary tract infections, minor scrapes and bruises, just different things like that maybe really you don't want to go to the emergency room for, but you want to be seen, don't want to wait till Monday, don't want to miss school or work on Monday, so you want to get it checked out before then, maybe get started on an antibiotic if that's what's needed, those type of things. So the only difference right now is that we ask that you call the office. So either when you get here or before you get here, we ask that you call the office at the 860-6000 number and tell us what's going on with you so we can just make sure that we're prepared. If it's somebody maybe that's had a history of exposure to strep throat and you pretty much know that that's what's going on, it's been going on in your house. We've had instances where we'll just go out to the car and swab you, or if we need to wear appropriate protective equipment depending on your symptoms, or if it's something that truly is, we feel like it may really be COVID based on all the symptoms, we may direct you differently. But for the most part, we're here, we're seeing patients, and we just want to let everybody know that they can still come see us. They just need to call before they come in. So it's at the 860-6000 number.
So, Chris, people, if it's, you're on the border about whether to go to the emergency room or come to the weekend clinic, the weekend clinic actually can refer you to the emergency room, but the emergency room is really not allowed to refer you to the weekend clinic. Isn't that the way it goes?
That's exactly right. Once you arrive at the emergency room, you are to be treated at the emergency room. They're not allowed to refer you elsewhere. Now, you can always leave on your own doing, but they won't refer you elsewhere. They will treat you and triage you. But for the weekend clinic, you can start with us, and that's what we really recommend. If you're not sure if this is an emergency room type visit, or I just think I need an antibiotic or I need to be seen, you can call us first, and if we feel we'll triage it, and if it's a true emergency, we'll get you up to the emergency room. We won't without hesitation, but otherwise we will go ahead and bring you in and get you seen and kind of get you back on your way. But you should start with us by calling us first. That's exactly right.
And it ends up, in most cases, being much cheaper to go to the weekend clinic than it does to make an emergency room visit, doesn't it?
Yes, it is, because we have a non-emergency room setting. So We use it's the same copay, the standard office visit copay that your insurance accepts. We're not a convenient care, so you don't have that higher convenient care copay. It's just an extension of our normal hours. So if your copay for insurance is $20, that's what it is when you come into our weekend clinic as well. And we accept all insurance, most insurance plans. The only caveat would be if you have a provider that you have to go to on your insurance, you want to double check with your insurance and make sure that you can come to us because, but if it's one of ours, you can come in, it's not a problem.
So Chris, and this is the weekend clinic is only at the building behind the hospital, is that correct?
Yes, it's in Building A on the hospital campus. So it's the main doctor's building, and you just, instead of turning into the emergency room, you're going to go to the next driveway down on Maddox Drive and turn into the doctor's building entrance. And again, then it's in Building A.
And so besides the weekend clinic, Missouri Baptist has some satellite offices, right? I know during COVID things have changed somewhat, so and I know that you're kind of in charge of those things. So.
Well, it does change day to day, so that's for sure. But yes, we have, besides, we have our regular office hours here Monday through Friday at Sullivan in the same building. And we have our specialty clinic here that our specialists come out and growing day by day there. We have Bourbon has an office, Cuba has an office, and Stillville all has an office. So each one of these offices have providers and nurse practitioners in them that are seeing patients Monday through Friday.
So is there some place that's still doing COVID testing?
So we are doing COVID testing at the respiratory clinic in Bourbon. So our Bourbon clinic sees their normal patient panel in the mornings, and then in the afternoon, starting at 1, if there's a patient that has COVID symptoms or respiratory symptoms, we ask that you call your physician first, and then the physician will refer you over based upon your symptoms over to the respiratory clinic if they felt you need seen. If they feel that you only need tested based on your exposure or your symptoms, we can refer you for a drive-through test there at the Bourbon clinic as well, and we have a drive-through set up.
Chris, are there still people who have not been to the hospital that probably need to be there for their regular checkups and stuff because of COVID?
Yes, for sure, David, or for sure, Sam. We're seeing a delay in medical care. We're seeing some pent-up medical care, if you want to call it that, for patients that are just not comfortable getting out yet. You just be sure that you come, call your physician if you have any concerns or you need to be seen, or if you haven't been seen in a while for chronic conditions such as your blood pressure, your hypertension, or your diabetes, COPD, those type of things. It's very important that you stay on top of those and maintain care. Here at the clinics, at all of our clinics, we take all precautions. So everyone wears a mask. We keep everything wiped down. We wipe down all of our waiting rooms on a hourly basis. We have our seating is socially distanced. And then everybody's taking all the precautions that they need to in the clinic here to keep you safe. So we want you to come in. We don't, we certainly want you to give us a call if you haven't been in, and don't delay that medical care. It's very, very important.
Chris, I know that you're more on the administrative side, but our numbers from Franklin County, although the hospital is actually located in Crawford County, it's included in the Franklin County numbers from the Franklin County Health Department. And the last I was able to see, there were no COVID-related patients in the hospital from Franklin County. I don't know, does that include Crawford County as well?
I believe that's right, Sam. I did not look at the report from over the weekend, but the last I seen, we did not have any COVID-positive patients in the hospital at that time.
So has everybody at the hospital that wanted to get vaccinated, have they been vaccinated?
Well, we certainly had the opportunity. I hope so. I know that many of us have, and we still continue to have the opportunity. And then we're offering those opportunities into the community as we get the supply from the state.
Well, good. I know. I think I'm going to talk to Dr. Jackson next Monday, and I know he's a huge proponent of it. And so, all right, Chris. Anything else?
No, Sam. I don't think so. Thank you for allowing us to be on here. And we have several new providers that are going to be joining us in the late summer and fall, so more to come with that on that front. So but again, yes, that delay in medical care, don't let that scare you off from coming into the office or into the weekend clinic. We are here and taking all precautions. Just give us a call.
I know that's part of your job is going out there and looking for new doctors and nurse practitioners and things like that. So sounds like you're staying with it.
Yep, we've certainly been busy.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you, Sam. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
That is Chris Gaskell from Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital. Finally, glad we finally got her on there. Chris and I share a grandchild, soon to be a second one. So I think maybe in a, I don't know, month and a half or something here. I think May the 4th is the due date, and I've tried to get them. It's a girl, so I've tried to get them to. Like May the 4th be with you. Tried to get them to name it Leah or Ray. I'm meeting a lot of resistance here. So, all right, we're coming up on 28 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock, and I'm glad that you've spent some time here with us this morning. Right now it is 64 degrees at the studios of KTUI. Increasing cloudiness for us today, but the high is going to be around 78. Mostly clear tonight, low around 57. Sunny tomorrow with the high near 78. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, 30% chance of overnight showers and thunderstorms, low around 62. 80% chance of showers, possibly a thunderstorm on Wednesday, high near 70. Mostly cloudy Wednesday night, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, low around 49. Partly sunny on Thursday, slight chance of showers, high near 60. Happy birthday today to Judy White and Grayson Camp. Grayson's 9 today. And all right, that's it. Please say a prayer for the leadership of our country, the men and women who protect this great nation of ours, all the folks that work in healthcare, and our first responders. And let's see, find a blood drive somewhere. Go to, redcrossblood.org. When it comes up, there's a box there. You put your zip code in it. It'll tell you when the next closest blood drive will be. You can get signed up for it, get an appointment, even fill out some paperwork to speed things along. So that's redcrossblood.org. Sign the back of your driver's license, be an organ donor. Mike Gallagher is coming up next after the news at the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned to KTUI.
Situation.
I couldn't pay my bills.
The interest on the cards was really high.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
I initially was scared to call, and immediately I felt relief.
They contacted all of our creditors, and they put us on a plan for success. Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
I've been able to pay off close to $15,000.
We're doing a lot better.
Please pick up the phone and see how affordable and easy it is to pay off your debt.
It's a godsend.
We're debt-free for keeps.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.